Hello and welcome back to my YouTube, Going Places with. Now, this video is about 11 African mentalities to get rid of when you move to Canada. Now, I know this may sound offensive to some people. The idea is not to offend you guys. Take comfort in the fact that you're hearing this from an African who moved to Canada, and I am proud of my African roots, okay? But the point I want to just make here is that when you move and you're from a background with certain values and behaviors and attitudes and philosophies and ways of life and thinking, and those things are not just going to disappear when you land at Pearson Airport or Vancouver Airport, right? You're going to have to deliberately shift your thinking in order to adapt to how things are done in Canada. Otherwise, you're going to have a very miserable life. So you want to find out more about that? Do stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to start with gender roles. Now, a lot of people move to Canada because they want a better future for their kids, right? And Canada does offer that. So if you're going to move to Canada for the future of your kids and things like that, I assume that you want to start a family here. And if you're going to start a family here and you're from Africa, there are certain philosophies, ways of thinking that you have to get rid of and sort of like adapt to how things are done here. No. So the first thing I'm going to talk about are gender roles, okay? Back home, we're used to the whole, women are in charge of the home and kids and, all of that, whether it's a wife being like a stay-at-home mom and taking care of everything, cooking, cleaning, doing laundry and helping kids with homework, changing diapers, blah, 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 while the man is the one who goes to work and, is the breadwinner and things like that. Now, or maybe if it's the case of couple, like a working couple, then the woman who takes care of the home is like a maid whom you hire, who lives with you full time, who stays at home and does the cooking and cleaning and laundry and keeps the house spick and span and all of that, cooks for visitors and stuff like that. Now, those things won't work in Canada. Why? Because firstly, it's very expensive to have domestic help full time in Canada. You have to be. I don't know. I wouldn't say you have to be a millionaire, but I mean, from a cost-benefit analysis perspective, it may not be worth it, especially if you're a new immigrant trying to settle in and get used to the Canadian way of life. The average family here cannot afford to have a live-in domestic helper full time. Okay, in Alberta, minimum wage is $15 an hour. Multiply that by like 40 hours a week, 4 weeks a month, and do the math. Your chances are you're not gonna afford that. In addition to everything else that you're paying, you're paying for your house, you're paying for your kids' daycare, and you're paying for all your utilities and things like that. You're not gonna be able to afford a maid. So forget about that. Forget about getting domestic help full time. Forget about making your wife do everything, right? I mean, best case scenario, you're both working full time, 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever the case may be, or you're working shifts and things like that. That happens a lot here. If you then both come home and both of you have spent a long hard day at work, and now you expect one person to then go the extra and do the cooking and then do the dishes afterwards and put kids to bed and all of that, you won't end up with a marriage. I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm not going to try to be one, but I guess you sort of like understand what I'm trying to say. You're going to have to balance roles within the home, right? Split the chores between the two of you. As an African man, be prepared to do things that were associated with women back home, like diapers, dishes, laundry, and all of that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is status. Back home, we're used to the mentality of judging people by how much they spend on stuff. Okay, so you want expensive this, expensive shoes, brand new car, and people judge you by how much you spend on stuff. But in Canada, there are so many ways of getting those things that nobody really cares, right? In local language, they say nobody gives a yeah, okay. So so nobody gives a damn what you drive, you know. I mean, let me just show you so that you don't keep seeing my boring face. I'll just show you a video I just recorded driving around today. But you know, people drive different cars in Canada, and there are so many ways of getting a vehicle. You can finance it, you can lease it, you can borrow it, you can hire it, you can buy a car at an auction, you can buy a used car. Yes, you can get a very good, reliable used car for, you know, very little, and you know, nobody will care. No, I mean, look at this. That's a Ford Explorer. That's a Toyota RAV4. I mean, I don't know how those guys got those cars, right? And I don't care. Yeah, I don't. So because of all of this, nobody can judge you. Nobody can place you on a hierarchy based on the car that you drive. Unlike back home, you know, you see somebody with a brand new Toyota, whatever, D4D or a Land Cruiser, you know that they're probably like a senior manager at work or a director or a CEO or something like that. You can judge people by what they drive. But here in Canada, I mean, you see somebody driving an F-150, it doesn't mean they're rich. It just simply means they like trucks. You see somebody with an SUV, they like SUVs, right? So that's the thing. So you gotta get rid of this mentality of judging people by what they drive, right? If you see me driving the car that I drive, you can't make out anything about me. Nothing. You can't even tell the job that I have by the car that I drive. You can't. Yeah. So I'm not gonna tell you what I drive because I don't care. And if you are Canadian, you wouldn't either. So, so then the other thing I'm going to talk about career choices. Okay, when it comes to career choices in Canada, um, never think that certain jobs are below you. Never look down on any profession because, you know, before coming to Canada, I never ever dreamt of doing trades, blue collar jobs. I just thought, no, those are not for me, right? But when I came here, I was like, okay, blue collar jobs can actually pay very well, very, very well. I actually did a boiler making pre-apprenticeship program. I just have a few more courses to do with Energy Safety Canada, and I can go into boiler making. And you know, boiler makers will make a lot more money than what I make. You know, so truck drivers, you know, welders, those guys make, a truck driver in Alberta can make 6 figures. 6 figures. And that's, you know, that's not small money in Canada at all. So don't look down on any profession. You know, somebody's a cashier, that same person can have a second full-time job and be working somewhere, you know. So don't think that, don't judge people by even what they do for a living. In Canada, nobody cares. Back home, you know, people place so much emphasis on that. What does he do? And, you know, all of that. And people were like, yay, you know, yeah, this guy is a manager. But then when you come to Canada, you may find that, hey, you know what? You can even make a lot more money than someone with a manager title, and yet you're both in the same country. And it doesn't matter. I mean, who cares, right? What I like about Canada is that it gives you the opportunity to pursue whatever it is that you want to pursue. So if you want to be a banker, if you want to be an accountant, pursue that, okay? But don't pursue something because of how you think it will make others perceive you, okay? So don't think that because you're a marketing manager, people will like, oh wow, this guy is a marketing manager. This guy is the branch manager of a bank. This guy is this. Nobody cares, okay? Nobody cares. So yeah, so that's that. I'm just gonna look at what I wrote here. Also, get into the habit of paying your debts. In Africa, you can get away with a lot of things because your credit is not tracked, nobody checks. But then here in Canada, there are credit bureaus that check the relationships that you have with your creditors. Okay, you have a credit score. You have to make sure that, you know, you keep it. You know, you keep your credit in good standing. That will enable you to get things like even rent an apartment. People check your credit before doing things like that. You want to get a mortgage, you want to finance a vehicle, you know, even sometimes getting a job, they may do a credit check on you, right? So make sure that you pay your debts, you stay on top of that. Also get rid of the mentality of thinking that you can get away with bribing people. Right now, for example, there's a huge backlog at IRCC with permanent residence applications. If it were in Zimbabwe, you just find somebody to to buy a drink, put something in a brown envelope and give somebody, and they'll process your papers quickly. But then here in Canada, you can't bribe anybody, you can't bribe cops, you don't have the money to bribe a cop. Okay. So get rid of this thing that you can bribe your way out of things. You just have to be a good law abiding citizen. The last thing I want to talk about is get rid of this mentality of my kids will take care of me when I'm old. Okay, if you move to Canada, have a retirement savings plan in place and start saving for retirement as soon as possible. There are different ways to do that. There are financial brokers, who can help you with the process of saving for retirement. Don't think that the Canada pension plan is gonna take care of you when you're old. That Canada pension plan doesn't pay you. Yeah, if you're gonna look to CPP for your retirement, you're screwed already. Okay, so every retirement savings plan in place. Don't in Africa, you're like, no, my kids will take care of me, and of course that's what happens, and it's a good thing. Well, it can be, I don't know, but yeah, that's what we do back home, right? But then out here, yeah, retirement savings plan, that's the way to go. So that's what I can say. I mean, there's a lot more that we can talk about, but yeah, probably, I mean, some more videos about this will come. But I hope you found this very useful. Again, I hope I didn't offend anybody. If I did, hey, please drop a comment, and let's talk about what offended you. And yeah. And we will talk more when you land in Canada. But otherwise, guys, I will see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that button, turn on notifications. Don't miss out whenever I upload a new video. I hope you enjoyed the views of Edmonton that I just showed you here. I'll probably will do it just a fall video so that you can see the beauty of the city. So guys, see you next time.